Let's get to the top 7 Stugotz characters worst characters. Best worst characters according to Mike Ryan. Number 7.
Honorable mention George Mikan Stugotz, because what the hell was that?
Guy was good.
I want to go back for just a second on George Mikan, because you know how we talk all about cancel culture and comedy's not aging well and measuring comedy by the time, right? Just Airplane's director is yelling, cancel culture, I couldn't make my movie today. It's okay to go back to what was happening at the time and analyze the comedy in the era that it's in. But in sports, I don't want that. I want to go back and cancel George Mikan. Like, get that out of here. He was out there playing with a belt, and he was shooting 30%, and he was giant. He was just bigger than everybody. And if you're going to be around the rim with 3 guys draped on you, 3 guys with very short shorts who, have second jobs,
socks with belts on them. Yeah, you can't be shooting in the 30%.
Then I wouldn't recommend looking at Bob Cousy's basketball reference.
Don't even
page.
get me started on that guy. Look, I've been speaking hard truths on that entire era of basketball.
You have been.
I have been since the get-go.
He has been. There's no disputing that. Mike Ryan has gone back into the 50s and 60s of basketball. And he's been like he's in a helicopter, and he's just mowing people down, just mowing down the entire era.
You think George Mikan can make an NBA team right now? Well, he's dead now.
That's not the point.
But I know, like, Dwight Howard being a shell of himself
is on an NBA team.
Dwight Howard right now is look, he's out there being a locker room problem for the Los Angeles Lakers today. He's still in this era. It's just unfair to Dwight Howard just because he's a dork, which he is, by the way. I understand knocking him down several pegs because he's just patently unlikable. But what we've done is super disrespectful to him. It's actually disrespectful of Klay Thompson to wear a jersey that says number 77, as if he's next in line in this conversation, when what happened to Dwight Howard was just mean. It was like leaving T.O. out of the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. We're trying to prove a point just because we don't like him.
There's an easy answer here. We got to call Bob Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to defend George Mikan.
Of course.
That'll be funny. That'll be funny, though. Go ahead and call him, and because I'm delighted by this development in
and give
the
me your
show.
koozie take. See how that goes over.
We've done that before. We've done that one before already. Billy and Rage.
I just thought of another Stugotz. So now this is a top 8.
All right, excellent. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and go to that list then.
Yeah. So there is guest booker Stugotz.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want to know how the sausage gets made, right? So a lot of times we get really good guests, especially when guest booking Stugotz is thoroughly engaged. However, he will throw your relationships like out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do so much cleanup. It's not organized. There's a lot of burned bridges. He is fully aware of things he can't do, and he'll do them either way to just try to get the guests. It's the kind of guy that you want on the wall, that you need on the wall, but you just can't have it in your life for a sustained period of time. So I'm happy that he's kind of checked out.
Kind of felt like a compliment. I got to be honest with you.
I mean, it's only number 8.
Stugotz was nodding the whole
because you would
time.
lie.
Like,
he's right.
Well, you would lie. There's a
But
theme throughout all
occasionally
this.
it bears Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I mean,
dishonesty is a common thread throughout all of this, but you would do shit that you knew you weren't supposed to do to try to get the guests. That makes you a good teammate to Dan, but not a good teammate to me.
I understand, but that's the guest booking game, man. You got to be willing to do things that others are not willing to do, Mike. You got to fly right past that media relations director, Chad Steele. Nothing was even close to coming out there. I'm fine. I just misspoke there. But you have to be willing to fly past the Chad Steeles of the world to get the guests you want to get.
1,000,000%. There's look, I tried my hand at guest booking. I am not built for that shit. You are.
Got to be a volume shooter, too.
Yep.
Like George Mikan.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I love
like Mike.
That Stugotz is always dragging Ravens public relations director Chad Steele.
Yeah.
It's the only one we know, I think.
No, I've got a top 2 rankings of least favorite Steele siblings, if you'd like me to go.
Really?
Yeah.
I've got my top
number
5.
2 is Sage Steele. And number 1 is glory hunting Chad Steele, who always wants to stand next to the quarterback and coach to get in the camera shot and not be helpful at all. I was watching a Super Bowl that didn't involve the Ravens, and he was standing behind Tom Brady. How the shit does that happen?
You
Phil Steele is your favorite, though, right?
Yeah, 100%. College football preview, essential reading.
Number 7,
Who is that boxing referee too?
Richard Steele.
Yeah. That might be an RAP. I don't know. I got to look it up.
I'll tell you.
Number 7, soccer stew.
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's a good one.
I've been
That's a
trying
good
to
one.
rally.
That's a good
I mean,
one. That's a good one.
Surprise me once.
Yes.
I did. I gave you a breakdown recently.
Yes, yeah. Well, but that was because it was box score Stugotz. I gave
You're
you a
right. You're
breakdown.
right. You're right.
Wait a
You're totally
minute.
right. You're totally right. I didn't watch a single second of those
Soccer
games.
Stugotz. Wow, a real collision. 2 of the most unlikable characters. You saw Soccer Stugotz show up, take off his mask, and be like, I love soccer, only to reveal box score
Yeah,
Stugotz.
box score Stugotz. But it also leads me to my number 6, which I'm pretty sure happened that one time. You gave me a good breakdown. Outsource Stugotz.
Yeah.
This is when Dan's out. And it's Mike, what'd you think of this? Or callers, what'd you think of this? It's 3 and only 3. It's the laziest broadcaster in the history of the medium. Outsource
Wow,
Stugotz.
this is a hell of a top 5 list, Mike.
Richard Steele is still alive.
All right, that's
All
a
right.
that's a fine, I think. No, I posted as a question.
You asked it as a question.
Yeah, so I'm okay. Number 5, COVID shaming Stugotz. Yeah.
So good. Such a good list.
It's only 5?
Yeah, so Stugotz would throw himself into all sorts of COVID contact tracing situations, big scenarios in which, hey, if this isn't a vaccinated group of people, this could be trouble. But he would come, have his weekend, join the show on Monday, and shame people that displayed those very same actions.
Just
Shouldn't be doing
looking
it in your
out,
district.
looking out for my friends. I mean, that's what I'm doing.
COVID shaming Stu is actually super spreader Stu because he would be in these scenarios himself, yet he would shame everybody around him.
I can't believe how strong your list is.
It's great.
Number 4 is contract negotiations, Stugotz.
Oh, I hate that, Stugotz. Man, I'm bad
Number
at
1,
that.
he's a bad negotiator.
Terrible.
Number 2, he is always working an angle. If you're trying to find an answer and get on the same page, even out of respect for him, to present a unified front, he will still somehow drag his feet. You don't really know where he's coming from outside of there's dishonesty. You don't know if he's working
Slow
you.
play negotiations.
when
Mike.
are we going to tell some of those stories? When are we going to have the oral history that tells some of the stories of Stugotz left to his own devices in the negotiating game? Number 3.
Dead show Stugotz.
Oh, I love that, Stugotz.
For an entire week, he checks out. If he's got a dead show coming or if he has a dead show in his wake, it has a residual effect. And this leads into my number 2.
Hold on, but last week, that's what happened, right? Stugotz just didn't show up Thursday because there was a dead show he was going to all along.
There was a dead show.
Emergency.
Well, you'll understand. They go hand in hand with vacation scheduling Stugotz, which is my number 2. Now, this one gave a real run for the money for number 1 because you cannot pin this guy down. It's I'll get back to you, buddy.
It's so hard.
He does this thing where he plans trips and he only has a flight there. He never plans a flight back, or he has 7 flights back.
You never know.
And no, I do know. If you have a Thursday that you say you're coming back, you're not coming back now.
Yeah.
I am on to you. That's what happened with this dead show.
So let's not go through this anymore. Just put it on the calendar.
No,
How about that? No?
I just don't like it at all. And when we had to deal with the rigidities of ESPN, it was a goddamn nightmare.
Number 1, and also, I mean, your list is suspiciously close to mine because I can't make vacation until he makes his vacation. So you can imagine how that one goes at home with a wife now.
Yeah, it makes
That was-
everybody's life difficult.
That was fine when it was just me. It's a little more difficult when I have to ask him for 3 months where he's taking a day.
Number 1 may seem underwhelming because it's box score Stu, but it speaks to a larger point.
Yeah.
Like that right there rose to the heights of this occupation. He is a certified radio Hall of Famer, and he hasn't actually sat down and taken an analytical look at sports his entire career. It's the same as outsource Stugotz. He will just open up the Google. I mean, he's been doing this where he opened up the web crawler and he'll just find the box score and he will formulate all his opinions on antiquated statistics, which is weird because then at the other side of his mouth, he'll give you a cliche and talk about gut when all he is a Google search.
But if you told the audience that just this morning, Stugotz greeted you with the hello of John Morant has taken a leap.
Oh, yeah.
And
You know what I saw on his
he was
computer?
just
40
staring into
points
his
last
computer.
night.
It was
I mean-
box-
I
it
think
was a
it's on his
mirror.
computer right now.
Box score score. Stugotz was in a mirror right
40
there.
minutes, 40 points. I didn't watch a single one of those minutes.
John Morant like do a Michael Jordan move where he somehow defied gravity and missed free throws at the end.
I just know he's good.
Yeah, but it was his good morning. You should know that it's not just on air laziness. Like that was him doing show prep. That was Google Stugotz coming in and being like, I can say at some point today, John Morant has taken a leap.
The only sport he actually sits down and watches now is golf,
Oh,
which is terrible for our audience.
And
So nice.
And Jets and the Jets.
Yeah,
I
he-
stopped watching the Jets.
Did you?
Yeah.
He tells us he doesn't even watch Red Zone mainly. His main TV one is the Jets game. Why? I can't even go to you.
The last few weeks, I have watched just the Red Zone. The Jets were on a bye, and they should have been on a bye this week. So I was watching the Red Zone. You're right. It's a different viewing experience. It is.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Are you kidding me? The difference
opposed
between
to
the
the
Red
Jets.
Zone and the Jets.
I know, but Dan, I need to watch a full game. I need to get a feeling for the game. I do, when it's my favorite
Why,
team.
but why do you have to? You could just go to the box score.
One time I don't.